So the question is, how much do we as parents talk to our kids about their first time experience? Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Mother to Daughter. It's a Sunday afternoon and we are at the local gym for my daughter Annalise's martial arts class. So we're going to head in and drop her off while I have a talk with you guys about abstinence. Abstinence is one of these birth control methods I don't talk too much about on the channel, but it is a valid birth control option, and I thought one of the best places to start the discussion about it is in the Mother to Daughter series, because I suspect that we parents may not have as frequent a discussion about abstinence as we would love to. So let's get into it. And by the way, I'm going to be doing a lot of walking up and down right in front of the martial arts class. So guys, don't get dizzy, but just listen to what I have to say. I wanted to talk about abstinence because I think that as parents, sometimes we're getting away from the idea of talking to our girls and our boys, teen girls and boys, about abstinence. Please excuse the music, I'll try as much as possible not to get too close to it. But yeah, I think a lot of parents might feel uncomfortable, afraid and apprehensive about the idea of discussing abstinence with their children. And I want to remind us that it is a valid discussion. It's an important and valid discussion that we should be having. The truth is that social media in general, has introduced a view about sex, sexual relationships that many times is not healthy for young people, and manages to glamorize the whole idea of sexual cohabitation or sexual relationship from a very early age, where people are still quite immature and they're not ready. They're not ready, and I'm not just talking about having babies. I'm talking about, that is a big consequence, of course, but there's a lot more to it than this. So I think that as parents, we're not having that discussion because we're being told, or we're being made to feel as if it's not a cool discussion to have and to go with the flow, which I think many parents struggle with. So either from their own experience or what they feel they want for their children, they find themselves in a difficult position because they might want to talk about the values of abstinence, but on the other hand, the competition is that movies, peer pressure suggests that losing your virginity and having sex is the way to go as soon as you're 13 or 14. These kids are having these discussions, and we as parents are struggling with that mindset that has been created by the media, that has been created by the evolution of society in such a way that it gives some moral justification, or should I say immoral justification, to having sex at an early age. I was watching a movie, can't remember what movie it was, and there were this young couple, probably 16, 17, 15, 16 maybe, and some people who had watched the same movie thought, oh, how sweet that was, that they were able to express themselves because they had sex, that they were free with each other, they were just opening up to their experience, or they were just expressing how they felt. Many parents will not be comfortable with that, and that's okay. That's absolutely okay. Yes, so you might belong with that category of parents who is happy or is comfortable, not happy, comfortable with the idea of your teen, 14, 15, 16, 17, whatever, having sex. That's your choice. But I think if you're in that category where you're not, that's perfectly fine. And it's good to be able to speak to your child and prepare them. Get that mindset about how okay abstinence is, how being cool abstinence is. They also need to have that discussion. They also need to have that engagement. We can and we should be talking to them. People from a religious point of view might view abstinence and the whole idea or the benefit of abstinence alone is about obeying your creator. There's so much more to it than this, and for those who have religious beliefs, I totally respect that. But I think there's also so much more that we should be saying to our children about the benefits they gain out of abstinence, particularly in the sense of mental health, and emotional health, and of course physical health. Physical health, we of course know about the impact of having a child when very young, or the impact of sexually transmitted infections. And you can say this to these kids, they can hear about this in biology, that's within the curriculum, so they get some education about. But I think it's also important to be establishing the value of self-respect, of respect of one's body, and the expectation for other people that we interact with to respect our bodies as well. So I was talking to my daughter the other day, and the discussion was about how much you value yourself, how much you value keeping yourself until the time is right and until you are ready, and not just physically ready but mentally and emotionally ready to share the first time experience. I called it the first time experience. So the question is, how much do we as parents talk to our kids about their first time experience? Would it be worthwhile sharing our first time experience with them? Would it be worthwhile sharing with them just how valuable a first time experience that is free of guilt, of emotional baggage like the stress or the pressure to be in love and to express that love physically? The fact that it's possible to enjoy that first experience and you're not worried about being pregnant or what your parents might say, or in some cases girls or guys have that first experience and find out that, well, they were not really special to the person with whom they shared that first experience. Do we have that discussion? Or even the ongoing one, if they are already sexually active, of the value of thinking, how valuable is my body, physical and mental body, aspects of my body, how valuable are they? How valuable is my body that all I want to do is make sure that my sexual experience and that relationship is shared with somebody who I value and who values me at a time when I'm ready to deal with everything that comes along with it. And this is not just pregnancy, this is also about the issue of commitment in relationships. So yes, it's important for us to get away from avoiding that discussion. It's important for us to make it a norm to have that discussion. They're talking about this in school, they're talking about it in biology, they're talking about it with their friends, they see things in the movies, in the songs that they play. It's glamorized, and we need to have that discussion. That it is cool to decide, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to have sex, I'm not going to have sexual relationships. Yeah, my heart tugs, my heartstrings are tugging, and I like this person, but I want to wait. That is perfectly fine. I think we need to have it more often. I think as parents, we shouldn't shy away from it because it is not the in thing. Of course, we should be careful that we're not using religion or our religious beliefs to beat our children around the shoulders to say, well, don't do this because of that. You might come from a very different school of life or behavior because, of course, times evolve, and so the way that we bring them up is probably not the way that we were brought up. But these kids today are less likely to accept that, well, it's good to abstain because the Bible or the Quran or whichever religion says that you should. There needs to be more, and I think there's a deeper relationship that you create with them when you're delving deeper into the benefits of abstinence with regards to your own self-respect, your self-preservation, considering that you are important enough and worth so much for somebody to say, I'm going to wait with you. I'm not going to pressure you to have sex before you're ready. Let's do it at a time when you're not scared of getting pregnant. You're not scared of getting an infection. You're confident that the person you're sharing this relationship with or this experience with is committed to you. I think we need to be having more of that discussion. Yeah, let me know how you're dealing with it. Let me know the questions that have come up. Let me know the issues that have come up. Seriously, and how you're dealing with it. When it comes to your kids who are in this age group around puberty and getting into their teens, the young teens and the older teens, because this is the age where these discussions need to be had. So guys, that's what I wanted us to chat about today. Thank you for watching. Please share with me topics that you'd like us to cover in a future episode, and I'll see you again soon. Bye guys.